President and CEO. And on behalf of Munson and our Board of Trustees, thank you for celebrating this wonderful milestone with us this morning. And I'd like to extend a special welcome to our elected officials. We are honored to have with us this morning New York Secretary of State Walter Mosley, also joining us are our friends Senator Joe Griffo, Assemblywoman Marianne Buttonshaw, County Executive Anthony Vicente, and Mayor Michael Leamy. So thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to celebrate. We gathered right here last April for a groundbreaking, and this morning we marked the completion of the dramatic transformation of Munson's Genesee Street landscape. In 2019, an opportunity arose sparked by conversations with community focus groups and Munson's commitment to our neighborhood. Our front lawn, which stretches from 324 Genesee Street down to Cottage Place, now offers a vibrant park-like setting, transforming a once treeless, concrete-heavy, and unwelcoming space into an inviting landscape and a gateway to downtown Utica. In beautifying the Munson streetscape, we have developed an attractive new space for festivals, Munson public events, and engaging art installations, enlivening our neighborhood and enhancing the quality of life. Over several years, despite the thing we all try to forget, the pandemic, Munson kept that vision moving forward. Working closely with landscape architects Sue and Zach Steele, the dedicated Munson colleagues have assisted with research, design review, material and plant selection, as well as additional fundraising. This process has been thoughtful, creative, and rewarding, and I will tell you, it pretty much stayed on schedule, which is highly unusual, as everyone knows. In addition to the original DRI project, Munson added features such as a much-needed accessibility ramp, a new plaza that is a beautiful setting for future outdoor events. Well, future as in right after this, we'll have our first, we're going to christen it with our first event. We were able to restore the 1960s architectural vision for the Museum of Art building and reinstall our Alexander Calder sculpture, which was commissioned from the artist in 1963 for Munson. The scope of these changes is remarkable as a physical transformation itself. In our new 48,000 square foot community access park, we have planted 735 shrubs, grasses, and perennials, including 26 trees, and all of that represents 34 different species, a high percentage of which are all native species that are going to thrive right here. We have also demonstrated Munson's commitment to sustainability. The light-colored granite used along the ramp and down along the plaza is repurposed, and not just once, but twice. It was actually part of the landscape when the Museum of Art was built in 1960. The newly installed brick paved plaza has a permeable surface that will gather stormwater, and where we are gathered right now is actually a green roof type system incorporating a deep soil profile to help our plant life thrive here. Our founders established Munson to serve as a cultural heart of the city and a gift to the region with a vision of bringing the community together through the arts. And it is our community that enthusiastically supports and sustains our efforts. And it is the community that brings meaning to what we do here at Munson every single day. This year-long project would not have been possible without exceptionally generous funding. We are deeply indebted to the New York Department of State's Downtown Revitalization Initiative, Gilbert and Ildiko Butler Family Foundation, Christian and Cheryl Howman, Lisa R. Lemieux, PhD, the DiPietro Family Trust, and Carmel Sullivan and family. project of this scope also required a tremendous team of visionaries and an army of skilled workers, plus countless meetings and efforts, as you can imagine, in all weather conditions here in central New York. So we extend our deep gratitude to Munson's Board of Trustees and Munson employees, Ground Supervisor Danny Beaver and his incredible landscape team, Director of Facilities and Campus Safety Ron Draper, Director and Chief Curator of the Museum of Art Stephen Harrison, Director of Performing Arts and Special Projects Bob Morrison, and Director of Development John Murphy. So thank you to my wonderful coworkers. For the amazing project design and implementation with a tremendous attention to detail and a sensitivity to our two historically significant buildings, we are indebted to Sue and Zach Steele of Steele Landscape Architecture, Lupini Construction, especially Joe Gorillo, March Associates, especially Chuck Higgerson, and Pike Construction Services, especially Scott Majors, Rob Munson, and Anthony Obenesser. Thank you so much. I'm already missing our weekly meetings, on our weekly Friday meetings. The many DRI projects that are contributing to the growth of our city were made possible through the hard work, vision, and gracious support of the governor's office. In 2021, I think we were maybe even wearing masks at the time, Governor Hochul was here to announce the 16 projects that were funded through the DRI, and Munson was included in that. And I remember we were right down at the old mural downtown at Liberty Bell Park, which is now absolutely transformed, just like this, thanks to DRI money. We are exceptionally honored today to have from the governor's office with us the New York Secretary of State, Walter Mosley, and I invite you now, please, to make some comments.
Where's the Steele family? We're the landscapers. Yeah, I got to talk to you guys because I need this around my house. You know, we have Great Pyrenees that constantly dig up our lawns, but I feel like laying out here right now. You know, so anybody who knows, you know, what it feels like to have good landscapers, it's almost as having good produce in your house. But again, it's an honor and privilege to be here on behalf of Kathy Hochul. Good day to everyone. Being here in Utica, you know, I was here, I think, last July when I first became Secretary of State. And it's such a pleasure to see the transformation of this library, of this facility, that will not only transform this community, but will ultimately transform lives, transform generations to come, people who will walk through these doors. And so I can't be more pleased with being a part of this. You know, my predecessor was one who tells me all the time, said, look, you're getting all the credit. I was here when it was just, dilapidated areas or lighted areas, but really the honor goes and credit goes to the people of Ithaca and obviously Mohawk Valley, and all of you who worked so hard and diligent on this project. So, as you know, Utica was one of the first DRI awardees in round 4. And this program really could not have happened without the partnership of public officials and state and local government. So before I go into my remarks, I just want to acknowledge on behalf of the governor and the Department of State, obviously, President and CEO of Munson, Anna D'Ambrosio, Senator Joe Griffo, my dear friend, Assembly Member Mary Ann Buttonshaw, another dear friend of mine, former colleagues in the legislature, and obviously to the county executive, Tony Picenti, as well as to Mayor Mike Gallamy. Your leadership is beyond reproach, and I just want to say thank you for allowing us to be a part of it, because we ultimately understand that without our cooperation, no matter what our affiliations are, projects like this don't happen. But I also like to thank Empire State Development under the leadership of Commissioner Hope Knight. I'd like to also thank the Department of State's Office of Planning, Development, and Community Infrastructure under the leadership of our Deputy Secretary, Keisha Santiago, as well as our DRI New York Forward Director, Amanda Smith, as well as our Revitalization Specialists, Danny Lappin and Stephen Luder. These individuals and their passion and their expertise, again, we would not be here without them, because they're the ones who do the hard work. They're the ones who reach out to you on a daily basis. So again, we thank you for all that you do, not only here in the Mohawk Valley, but throughout our state and regions. I'd also like to give a special shout out to our governor, as Anna so noted. She's been working hard and diligently on behalf of communities like this to make them safer, more affordable, as well as more livable, through programs like DRI and New York Forward. But it's also through our commitment to make New York an even better place to live and thrive. And in fact, many of you know her affordability agenda, which will put roughly $5,000 back into the pockets of every New Yorker, which means that she's doing something beyond just brick and mortar. She's making sure she's building bridges and a foundation for families. But she's also doing that by cutting the tax rate and middle class tax rate by 70% lower rate. She's also taking our child tax credit and tripling it to $1,000 per child. And she's also making sure that no child who goes to school in New York State has to deal with food insecurity, making sure that free school breakfast and lunch is provided for every child in our state. And likewise, we know that there's an issue of child care deserts throughout our state. And as a father of two, understanding the need of proper and safe and reliable child care is imperative. She will be investing over $110 million statewide to meet that demand. So the governor understands that affordability and bridges and foundations are just not about the physical things, but it's also about the things that we provide our families and our young ones each and every day. But we also have so much to celebrate, because here in Munson, I've seen the pictures. I've seen the before and I've seen the after. And this right here is a testament to Ithaca. It's a testament to what you want to do for your communities, but more importantly, what you're going to do for people that come after you. So I want to say to you, give yourselves a round of applause. We know as a Round 4 winner, Utica has been really harnessing its diversity and heritage, catalyst for future growth and rejuvenation. And Utica is truly one of the most welcoming and diverse communities in our state. And I've been to every region of our state, and I say that with all sincerity. When I was here last July, I was able to witness the sense of inclusion and community pride myself. I was able to see the using of the $10 million awarded DRI grant, which celebrates the many countries and cultures represented in this diverse community. But this project is also a great example of how DRI actually works in real time. So we're extremely excited to announce the completion of this new park space at Munson. But this beautiful space that we're standing in today was once underutilized. It was a blighted area, but it also belonged to Munson. So we look at it now.
Slap in the face.
It has been transformed into a public access park with new landscaping, lighting, walkways, sculptures, and seating. And the park will provide arts and cultural programming like festivals, block parties, light shows, art installations, pop-up events, and public performances for this entire community. Because we know that arts and culture is really the epitome of who you are as a community. As Ithaca continues to attract and welcome so many people from the arts world from all over the globe. This project will also receive another $820,000 from the state's Downtown Revitalization Initiative in an effort to meet those demands. And there's so much more going on right here with Downtown Utica through DRI, which includes the supporting of the workforce development at the center, an employment center offering cultural and linguistically appropriate training and employment services for diverse populations working in the region, renovating of the Marketovan commercial space to attract businesses in the city's commercial corridor, as well as supporting the activation of the DeSalis Center, which is right across the street, by providing elevator access to the upper floors. Rehabbing the Veterans Fitness and Wellness Center, as well as redeveloping the Oneida National Bank building to establish Mohawk Valley's commercial kitchen/food incubator.
Did you catch that one?
The construction, mixed-use art space, Utica Affordable Art Housing, as well as the rehabilitation of the Utica Public Library, Genesee Street corridor. So big things are happening here in Utica. And I'm just, again, honored to be a part of it as your secretary. And we're proud when we see DRI working the way it's supposed to. Because when we invest in our downtowns, we're investing in not only the hearts of our communities, we're investing in you. Because we know just throwing money and resources at a project alone is not the solution. We're focusing on making things more vibrant and walkable. We also want to spur economic growth. And the only way we can do that by enhancing the quality of life of residents and preserve the unique character of each municipality region is by embracing those individuals who understand the scope and the history of Utica. You know what works. You know what doesn't work. You know what you need to embrace in an effort to go forward. All while understanding that you have a history that is unique in comparison to other places in our state. Because you've embraced your diversity. You've embraced who you are as a community, opening the doors for folks who come from all over the globe to live here in this unique place. And so, Utica, you're truly demonstrating what America and New York State is all about. So, congratulations to all of you on this significant achievement. And I can't wait to come back to visit as you complete even more of your downtown, DRI projects. Because ultimately we understand that in completing these DRI projects, you are setting a standard and a bar that is so high, but yet attainable if we do things together. Even in the midst of these times, we understand that New York State is the Empire State for a reason. From the very beginning, we showed this country and this world what it means to be New Yorkers. And even in spite of all our differences, apparent or not, that places like Munson will be a reflection of who we are as New Yorkers and as Americans. So congratulations to Munson, and congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Secretary Mosley. I will say on behalf of Munson, we are honored to be part of Utica. Our founders established us right here because they did know the importance of arts and culture in our great city. And to be part of the downtown revitalization is very meaningful to us and our 100-year history right here. The vision of County Executive Anthony Vicente has transformed the Mohawk Valley. Just blocks away, his innovative concept for Nexus, for example, has helped revitalize our city and brought tens of thousands of visitors into our county, helping us with economic renewal. Tony.
Good morning.
Good.
And yes, Anna did call me up today and we matched outfits. Just to get that out. It is my great pleasure to be with all of you today. And Mr. Secretary, thank you, the mayor, the senator, the assemblywoman, but most important, the Munson family here, because it is a family. The leadership of Anna has really spurred so much great things. Please give her a round of applause. To the staff at Munson, to the board, to all of the benefactors, this is our home. And, you know, there are constants in communities. There are things that come and go. There are buildings that come and go. There are businesses. But then there are constants. And the constant of Munson, these facilities, of what they offer, the beauty of Fountain Elms, and the magnificence of what is inside of this facility behind me, really adds so much to this community. And I'll date myself remembering when the very first time I think I came here was probably, and some of my friends in the audience can do the same, when I was a third grader, I think, was one of the first field trips that you left school to come to Munson. And it blew you away. You didn't know where you were. And that same feeling exists today. And that's the constant in the city of Utica. That's a constant in the Mohawk Valley in Oneida County. That this facility continues to provide for our residents, for our visitors, but for the soul of the community. Someone said, and I don't know who the quote is, but maybe Ann will correct me on it, art is the soul of the community. And there's no better description of that than right here on this land. This facility has been the soul of this community for a number of years. Nothing gets mentioned, at least on my end, I know on the mayor's end, and other colleagues in government, when economic development comes about, and whether it was Nexus, whether it was the Stanley, whether it was Rome, Utica, all of Oneida County, Munson is one of the first things we talk about, because I mentioned in my State of the County recently, talked about a community, and I mentioned all of these things where you have a world-class museum. There are communities across this country, bigger, more people, more space, that don't have this. We are fortunate, and we're fortunate because of all of you. Proud to be a small part of what has been happening in Munson, trying to work with, and we have been working very closely with Mayor Galimi, just to make, this area, and these landmarks and these historic pieces of our community better, stronger, more vibrant. And what's been done on the DRI here, Mr. Secretary, you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a community that, you give us the money, we'll get it done. And we have, and we'll continue to do that. So to all of you, to the construction teams, to certainly the architecture, to the grass, I'm just blown away by Anna's knowledge of what's underneath here. I mean, it's in terms of her art knowledge, I mean, I'm fascinated by her environmental landscaping ability here. This is fantastic, and yes, I would also share. I mean, I forgot how many plants she said were put in the ground. My wife has been bugging me for 2 trees that I haven't done. So with all of that, again, to all of you, to the governor, to Empire State Development, Allison, I'm sorry to mention you, but everyone, thank you for this. This is the continuation. It's not the start, it's not the end, it's a continuation of making this community, this county, the very best. Thank you. God bless you.
Guys, I am so sorry. I've been traveling a lot, so Ithaca and Utica, I get mixed up sometimes. So that's why I'm saying, why are people looking at me like that? So I'm sorry about that.
I will tell you, you will not be the first person and you will not be the last. We have that happen all the time. So you didn't get great classical cities, it's okay. Thank you so much. And Tony, thank you for always being a champion of Munson. The city of Utica has been a steadfast partner throughout this project, from its very early stages of the DRI and lots of meetings down at City Hall and downtown, right up until today. Mayor Mike Galimi is an active Munson member and a supportive leader who is invested in our Utica neighborhood right here on Oneida Square, the southern gateway to downtown Utica. So Mayor Galimi.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here today. I feel like the last time we were standing here, we were under a tent with umbrellas. And today we have some beautiful weather shining upon this ribbon cutting. So thank you for that, for the powers that be. Right? Of the 1,000 things that could be said, of the many words that can be spoken, I want to reflect on 3 specific things as the mayor of Utica, representing our city. The first is the impact, the true impact that a DRI initiative can have. The second is the transformation of Munson and how it's truly now becoming a bigger part of this community because of this project. And sorry, I forgot the third thing. No. The third thing is Philip Johnson's vision, which I wanted to start with, but I wanted to bookend things with DRI. So first with the DRI, Hannah, I just want to ask you a question. Would we be standing here without DRI being the catalyst that it is? Absolutely not. Okay, so I wanted to start with that because these types of projects are always questioned because they are funded by our taxpayers. And it's not always seen by all the impact that the benefit comes from and how it transcends into the community. So without this catalyst of DRI, the long list of other people that you see here, the long list of members, the new members you have because of this project, you wouldn't have. So for that, I want to just comment on the fact that a reflection, the Secretary of State sitting here, our state senator, our assemblywoman, our county executive, I'm the mayor of Utica, we have the Chamber of Commerce. The way our state, municipal and local governments work together has never been stronger, and this is a beautiful reflection. Now about Munson, okay. For those of you who are visiting, for those of you who've seen renderings, this area was always awake a couple weeks a year when we did the sidewalk art show, or when we had the cars on the lawn, or maybe there'd be a jazz concert. One time we brought in Corning glass, people were blowing glass and showing kids how that works. But the reality is, outside of those events, this truly was a manicured space, but it was a sterile space. It was a nice space, but it wasn't a space that a family would come and maybe picnic, right? And really, it's not just the DRI project, but with the catalyst of the DRI, this grew into ADA compliance. It grew into continuity between Fountain Elms and this front lawn. It grew into the fact that while many people said this is the front entrance of our museum, you have to go in through the back. This space has been activated, and it's clear that what you've done here, the vision you've compiled, has now created a situation where Munson is part of the organic community that surrounds it. Philip Johnson. Philip Johnson was the architect responsible for this beautiful building behind us. The ground we're standing on today was always the canvas that building sat on. Now, if you look at the original architectural renderings, if you look at the original vision, the building was floating. There was glass everywhere. But over time, over decades, because of safety, because of maintenance, because of cost, there was a hedgerow. There was weird gates. There was just a lawn that got mowed. There was a beautiful sculpture that sat out front that no one really noticed because it wasn't an inviting space, right? DRI was the catalyst of literally creating a situation where if you look at the space we're in right now, we're actually standing in the rendering. There's a difference in that. This space is now complete, and it's part of the rebirth, the rebrand. Every single thing that Munson has done, whether it's First Fridays or the fact that their core vision of this entire project was community. It was community. And it all comes from that original vision of Philip Johnson and him wanting to place this beautiful structure on the canvas we stand on. So to come back to DRI, everything I just said, whether it was community, the artistic elements, the maintenance, how this would happen, the fact that it was a catalyst of what we're doing right now speaks volumes as to why we continue to support projects like this. So thank you.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate your appreciation for the Philip Johnson Design Building, because we were able to bring back that vision and take away that barricade, and now you can see the beautiful glass. And at night, I hope you all have the opportunity to come back and see this area, this park in the evening with our building floating and the beautiful landscape lights that we have been able to install. And the DRI being a catalyst, nothing could be more true. And it really commemorates our founder's vision, and it has been the catalyst for much to come for Munson. So I will just dangle that carrot to tell you that this is only the beginning. We have 24 buildings. You're looking at 3 of them. Now there's 21 more buildings on our campus, and there's so much left to do in our neighborhood and with Munson. And I invite you to come back often and continue your support of us, because this is the catalyst and this is only the start. And we're looking forward to developing the inside as we have on the outside. With today's ribbon cutting, we're not just commemorating how far our organization has come, but we're also celebrating the path forward and how far we will go as Munson. So I invite you to stay a little bit, enjoy this beautiful landscape. Down in our new plaza, we will have some refreshments. And then after that, at 11:30, please join us in the Senate Family Bank of Utica Auditorium in the Museum of Art, where I will be able to share with you in a community conversation some of our pretty dynamic and exciting plans ahead for Munson. Now, I'm going to ask Carrie Puleo, Executive Director of Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce, to come forward. And Carrie is going to orchestrate the ribbon cutting for us and the always very important photo opportunity. And I believe Marianne Buttonshon also has a presentation to do during the ribbon cutting. So thank all of you for being here today. Thank you for being a part of the Munson family. And I am deeply appreciative of everything that you do and all of your participation. So come back, enjoy this often. The Arts Festival is just around the corner. Great exhibition opening next week. 600 events throughout the year. So lots for you to enjoy. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
I'm going to take this out because we're going to move this down. Thank you, Anna. I'll just take very brief remarks while we're setting up the ribbon cutting. The importance of this project, not only everybody talked about the arts, but how it impacts the business community is something that we can't ignore. As we're trying to attract talent to our area, and we have so many amazing projects coming, people look for community assets like the one we have right here for communities that they want to live in, grow their family, have their business. And so that's why things like this are so vital to our community, because it's assets like this that we have here that differentiate us from other communities that are trying to attract businesses and talent. So we're thrilled to be a part of this. I'd now like to invite up all of our elected officials who are here, as well as the Munson Board of Directors and key staff members, to join me behind the ribbon to do the official cutting and photograph, because we stand between you and a lovely reception in the courtyard. So Anna, on behalf of the Greater Utica Chamber of Commerce, we'd like to present you with this plaque today on the Downtown Revitalization Project, which I'm also a proud member of the Mohawk Valley Regional Economic Development Council. So in addition to my role at the Chamber, this is a great honor to be here today. I'm going to pass the mic over to our Assemblywoman, who also has a presentation for you.
Just on behalf of the New York State Assembly, just a small token thanking you for your forward thinking, your perseverance, and your continuing dedication to the county. Thank you, the state of New York, as well as the city.
And I believe, Secretary Mosley, you are the honored scissor cutter for today. So on the count of 3, we're first all going to look and take our photos, and then we will count to 3, and we'll all say Munson, okay? So everybody look out there at the cameras. Grace, if you want to raise your hand so we have... All right, on the count of 3, Munson. 1, 2, 3. Munson! Congratulations to Anna and your entire team. We are thrilled for the development that you have here today. While I have the mic, if you're also interested in events, I'm going to mention that Juneteenth will be held here tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock. Not out here on the lawn, but inside, so we invite you to come back for that. A wonderful celebration, and when you leave, you can see it all lit up like Anna mentioned.